So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video on our biology JAMB exam revision series, we are going to be solving some JAMB repeated questions for the topic on homeostasis. So in short, to state at the end of this video, as this is a very important aspect of your JAMB biology exams. So guys, you can feel free to pause the video at any point in time to see if you can answer any of the questions before we give you the answer. So guys, let's start with the first question here. We have water loss is regulated in plants and animals by both the A, scales and the hair, B, leathery corticals and the feathers, C, scales and the skin, D, thick leaves and the feathers. So guys, the correct answer to this question is leathery corticals and the feathers. So guys, let's look at the next question. Which of the following takes place when the temperature of a person's body rises above 37 degrees Celsius? A, sweating and vasodilation. B, sweating and vasoconstriction. C, panting and vasoconstriction. D, panting and vasodilation. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's sweating and vasodilation. So actually, the sweating is a cooling mechanism that helps to lower the body temperature, and then the vasodilation actually helps to widen the blood vessels, which allows more blood to flow near the surface of the skin, and this in turn helps to cool it off. So when the blood flows near to the surface of the skin, the air around can actually cool it off. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 3. It says, the opening and closing of the stoma are regulated by A, osmosis, B, transpiration, C, diffusion, and D, respiration. So guys, actually the answer to this question is option A. Of course, we know that the stomata, the opening and closing of the stomata, first of all, we understand that the opening and closing of the stomata is controlled by the guard cells. So guys, the regulation of these guard cells is as a result of osmosis. So when the guard cells lose water and shrink, the stomata gets to close, whereas when the guard cells take up water and swell by osmosis, the stomata also opens. So this is a process that helps to regulate the opening and closing of the stomata with the help of the guard cells. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's osmosis. It is osmosis that actually helps the guard cells to take up or lose water. So when they lose water, they shrink, and this causes the stomata to close. So when they actually take up water, they swell, and then this causes the stomata to open. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 4. Question number 4 says, which of the following can cause shrinking of living cells? A, isotonic solution. B, deionized water. C, hypotonic solution. D, hypertonic solution. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option D, and that's hypertonic solution. When a solution is hypertonic, it means it has a higher concentration of solutes. So if a solution has higher concentration of solutes, it means water will flow to that end. So if a cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, it means water will leave the cell and flow into the hypertonic solution. So in that case, the cell will shrink. So guys, the answer to this question is option D. So let's look at the next question. And that's question number 5. It says, the hygrometer is used for measuring A, relative humidity, B, rainfall, C, salinity, D, specific gravity. So the hygrometer is actually used to measure relative humidity. That's the amount of water vapor in air. So that's what the hygrometer is used for. So guys, let's look at the next question. That's question number 6. It says, the process of water loss and intake indicated by the arrows labeled I and II are respectively A, exhalation and osmosis, B, urination and diffusion, C, evaporation and osmosis, D, osmosis and diffusion. So guys, if you look at I, you will see that I is representing evaporation. So the water is leaving the bag to the atmosphere, and that's through the process of evaporation. Whereas if you look at II, you will see that water is entering the cells from the water source there. You see that this water penetration is through the process of osmosis. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C, and that's evaporation and osmosis. So guys, let's look at the next question here, and that's question number 7. Question number 7 says, which of the following is not a function of the skin? A, regulation of blood glucose, B, sensitivity, C, protection, D, temperature regulation. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, regulation of blood glucose. Actually, the skin does not regulate blood glucose. The skin is for sensitivity, it's for protection, and it also regulates temperature, but does not regulate blood glucose. So guys, let's look at the next question. That's question number 8. Which of the following is a homeostatic response in human? So A is shivering in a cold environment. B, yawning owing to tiredness. C, the mouth getting watery when food is sighted. And then D, withdrawing hand from a hot object. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, shivering in a cold environment. Shivering in a cold environment is a homeostatic response in human. So option A is the correct answer to this question. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 9. It says, the part of the mammalian skin involved in temperature regulation is the A, hair papilla, B, sweat gland, C, hair follicle, D, sebaceous gland. Of course, the sweat gland is involved in temperature regulation. So remember that when the temperature is high, the sweat gland will release sweat, which actually helps to bring down or lower the body temperature. So this is a mechanism that the body also uses to control the body temperature. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 10. It says, use the diagram below to answer this question. From the graph above, it can be appropriately deduced that A, the body temperature in II varies with that in I. B, the body temperature in I is independent of external temperature. C, external temperature affects the body temperature of I and II. D, I and II maintain constant body temperature. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, and that's the body temperature in I is independent of external temperature. So guys, let's look at the next question, and that's question number 11. It says, dash is a process by which a fairly constant internal environment is maintained in an organism. So A is homeostasis, B is regulation, C is temperature, and D is ecosystem. So guys, the correct answer to this question is homeostasis. Homeostasis is the maintenance of a fairly constant internal environment in an organism. So guys, that's the correct answer to this question. So let's look at the next question. That's question number 12. Which of the following functions is performed by the skin to help maintain homeostasis in the human body? A, regulation of body temperature. B, production of hormones. C, digestion of food. And D, filtration of blood. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option A, and that's regulation of body temperature. So guys, take note of that. Regulation of body temperature is the correct answer to this question. So we'll go ahead and check out the last question, and that's question number 13. The question says, the opening and closing of stomata are regulated by A, respiration, B, transpiration, C, osmosis, D, diffusion. So guys, the correct answer to this question is option C, and that's osmosis. So guys, osmosis can help regulate the closing and opening of the stomach. And how does it do that? Actually, we know of the gut cells, which is the mechanism for opening and closing of the stomata. So the gut cells is there and is responsible for opening and closing of the stomata. But here, the gut cells are actually controlled by osmosis. When the gut cells lose water, they shrink, thereby causing the stomata to close. Whereas when the gut cells obtain water by osmosis, they swell up, thereby causing the stomata to open. So this is a mechanism that the gut cells use for controlling opening and closing of the stomata by osmosis. So guys, this will be the end of this lesson. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're not yet a subscriber. Also, ensure to share this video with your friends to enable us reach out to more people. And then, if you have any question regarding this video, please drop your question on the comment section below, and we'll ensure to give you a response soonest. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next class.